Right. My dear students, you are welcome to our Gurugedara channel, which is conducted by the Ministry of Education hand in hand with NIE. Today, in my lesson, I am going to talk about a very important theme that is under the theme or the branch of mathematics, numbers. You know, there are several themes in our lessons. Then, like algebra, geometry, statistics. Today I selected under the theme numbers. Under that I select interest. Now the word interest is so familiar to you. What is interest? Interest is something more than what you get or what you deposit. That means if you deposit some amount, after adding interest, you get something extra. Now there are three types of interest: simple interest, compound interest, and interest on reducing balance. But in this lesson, I have mainly focused on simple interest and compound interest. But at the latter part of the lesson, I have included some questions based on reducing balance interest. You might remember in grade 11 you studied. Let's see, you will remind of with my discussion. Right. Let's move on to the first slide. That is our introduction, simple interest, and second part, compound interest. Let me first explain simple interest. What is simple interest? Simple interest, the word means it is simple. Calculation is simple, understanding is simple. Right. Let's look at the definitions or the explanations. Used to calculate interest on a cash loan or a cash deposit. That means you are calculating interest for cash borrowings or cash deposits. Second one, interest is calculated for a unit of time. It is a very important concept. Now in simple interest method, you calculate the interest for a time unit. That may be 1 month or 1 year. Usually you calculate it for 1 year. Next one, the interest for a time unit is multiplied by the time to calculate the total interest. That means once we calculate the interest for 1 month or 1 year, you multiply by the number of months or number of years to get the total interest. Let's discuss this one by a simple question. Find the total amount to be paid after 3 years borrowing rupees 50,000 at an annual simple interest rate of 8%. Let's see. In this question, there are three important places to focus. One is the principal amount, 50,000. Second one, annual simple interest rate, 8%. And the third one, the period. Amount borrowed, 50,000. Annual interest rate. Now how to calculate the annual interest rate? 50,000 into 8 upon 100 because 8%. 50,000 into 8%. How to simplify it? We can cancel the 2 zeros in 100 with the 2 zeros in 50,000. Then 500 into 8, you get the answer rupees 4,000. Then interest for 3 years. Now we first calculated the interest for 1 year. Now we have to calculate it for, now we studied, if you calculate the interest for 3 years, you have to multiply it by that 3. Then annual interest is 4,000. Once you multiply it by 3, 4,000 into 3, 12,000. That means the total interest is 12,000 for the 3 years. Then with the 50,000 principal amount, or you call it as the initial amount, plus 12,000 is the interest. Then you get the total amount. Total amount means principal plus the total interest. 50,000 plus 12,000, your answer is 62,000. Now we can go for a backward calculation. That means they don't give the interest rate, they give the total amount after several periods. Then what you do? You calculate the interest, total interest, and after that you calculate the interest for a time period, 1 unit of time, maybe 1 year. Now according to this question, 20,000 is deposited and after 4 years the amount is altogether 29,600. Therefore, the total interest for 4 years, the total interest for 4 years rupees 29,600 minus 20,000. Then answer is 9,600 for 4 years. Then we can calculate the interest for 1 year. 9,600 is for 4 years. We can divide it by 4 to get the interest for 1 year. What is the interest for 1 year? 9,600 divided by 4, 2,400. Now we have found how much is the interest for 1 year for the principal amount 20,000. Then looking at those two, 20,000 and 2,400, we can simply calculate the annual interest rate under simple method. Now this is our simple interest part. 2,400 upon 20,000 into 100%. Then you can cancel zeros by zeros, again zeros by zeros, double zero, double zero. That is a simple thing. You can simplify these questions in any way you like. You don't want to follow my method. You can use any method to do the simplification. Then the answer is 12%. Annual interest rate, our unknown amount, our unknown interest rate is 12%. Right. Now that is about simple interest. Then we will move on to compound interest. Now word means it is compound. Compound means little bit complex. Calculation is complex and it is little bit difficult to understand. But if you study methodically, step by step, it is nothing. It is nothing for you. Now you are grade 11 students. Right. Let's see what is compound interest. Used to calculate interest on a cash loan or cash deposit. Same story like simple interest. If you get a loan or if we deposit something, both way we calculate the interest, that extra amount. Then the definition or the most important part you have to remember under compound interest is the second one. The compound interest is a method of calculating the interest for a given period of time and then adding that interest to the total amount to calculate the interest in the subsequent time. That means you have to calculate the interest for the first year. That is very much similar or the same as simple interest, the first year interest. But this first year interest should be added to the amount. When you are going to calculate for the second year interest, you have to add the first year interest to the amount. Then the amount increase. Then the second year interest is more than the first year interest in simple interest method. Why? In the second year, you calculate the interest based on the interest of the first year also. That is why it is something like growing or compounding. That is why they have given the name compound interest. Right. We will now let's see what are the differences between simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest, first year it is same, either way is same, but from the second year the compound interest is growing. Annually the compound interest is growing. Let us look at a simple example. When rupees 50,000 is borrowed at an annual compound interest rate. Now I want to tell you something. Now 15% they may say. If they don't mention it is monthly or quarterly, usually take it as annual. Normally in questions, we have to focus the questions. they give the interest rate whether they mention or not, it is annual. Then find the total amount that has to be paid after 2 years. Now first year interest and second year interest. Let us see, what is the loan amount? 40,000, the principal amount or the main basic amount. 40,000 into, then what is the interest rate? Interest rate is 15%, then 40,000 into 15 upon 100. When you cancel, I earlier told, you can cancel in any way you like. You can watch this again and again and you can follow this. Now it is in the YouTube channel. If you miss this one, you can try again and again under the channel NIE, right? Remember that also. You have to practice it. Then you calculate the interest for 1 year, that is 6,000. First year interest is 6,000. Then you can go for the amount at the beginning of the second year. 40,000 plus 6,000, the total amount at the end of the first year is 46,000. This becomes the opening amount at the beginning of the second year. Then the second year interest is calculated based on 46,000. Now let us see how to calculate the interest for the second year. Now for that you have calculated the first year interest. Then the second year amount is 46,000. Then you can apply the same interest rate 15 upon 100. Then you have to divide 46,000 by 100. Then the answer 460. 460 multiplied by 15, it is 6,900. Now you see the difference. First year interest is 6,000. Second year interest is 6,900. Why that 9,000 increase? That 9,000 increase because of the interest of the first year. You can remember we got the first year interest rupees 6,000. They have calculated the interest for the interest during the second year. Therefore, second year interest is 6,900. Then we are going to find the total amount. How to find the total amount? First year interest is 6,000, second year interest 6,900. The principal amount is 40,000. Then 40,000 plus 6,000, 46,000 plus 6,900, 52,900. Now can you remember what we did? We calculated the interest for the first year, added it to the amount and calculated the interest for the second year and again added to the amount. Then the answer is 52,900. Now let us see a shorter method to calculate it, a shorter method, because at the examination time is also a factor. Without going those steps, how to find it at once? Annual interest for 100. If you deposit or borrow 100, you have to pay an interest of 15. For 100 it is 15. Then if you borrow or deposit 100, at the end of the year with interest 100 becomes 115. From those two you can get a fraction 115 upon 100. Using that you can calculate this answer at once. 40,000 into 115 upon 100 into again 115 upon 100 for 2 years. If it continues, you can again multiply by 115 upon 100. Then you can divide 40,000 by 100. Answer is 400. Again 400 by 100. Answer is 4. After cancelling the denominators, you have in the numerator 4 into 115 into 115. Once you multiply them, you get the same result 52,900, which you got by following those steps. See, this is a calculation you done in one line to save time. Here we didn't calculate the interest. If someone asks what is the interest, you have to subtract 40,000 from 52,900 and get the total interest. This is a short method. Let us move on to another question. A person who deposits money in a financial institution receives a total rupees 43,200 after 2 years. Deposited some amount, they don't tell us the amount. Now it is a sort of backward calculation. After 2 years, the total is 43,200 at an annual compound interest rate of 20%. Then what are the information given here? Interest rate is 20%, compound interest rate. Time is 2 years. Initial amount not known, but total amount after 2 years is 43,200. Then if you don't know something, you know what is the algebraic term you get for unknowns. Usually you take x, you can take any other letter, but here I took x. Unknown initial amount or the principal amount, let us take it as x. Then based on that we can calculate the total amount. I told you that short method, one line calculation, x into 120 upon 100, again 120 upon 100. Then you should get the total amount. Unknown amount, x means the principal amount they ask us. Then in the question they have given 43,200 as the total amount. Now again the concept amount means principal plus interest. Inside 43,200 you have both principal amount and interest. Then how to find x? X into 120 upon 100 into 120 upon 100 equal 43,200. Then how to find x? Simple mathematics, like solving simple equations. To remove 120 upon 100, you take the reciprocal of it. When you are taking the reciprocal, you have to write it on both sides. To remove 120 upon 100, you take 100 upon 120 into both sides. There is another 120 upon 100. For that also you take again 100 upon 120. Now look, 100 and 100 get cancelled. Again 100 and 100 get cancelled. Then 120 divided by 100, 120 divided by 100. You can see that. Then other side, you can again divide 43,200 by 120. Then you get 360. 360 again divided by 120, you get the answer 3. Then you can multiply 3 by 100 by 100, 30,000. X equal 30,000. Our unknown amount x is now calculated, now we have found it. Therefore, we can conclude our answer. They didn't ask x, x is something we took. Therefore, our final answer should be again given in the terms they ask. They ask find the amount deposited. The amount deposited rupees 30,000. Now look at the left side of this. Now we can work out this sum without taking x. 43,000 reciprocal of 120 upon 100. That means if you deposit 100, at the end of the year it becomes 120. Backward, at the end of the year 120 means initial amount is 100. You can use that technique to find the amount without going for this algebraic side. See, amount deposited equal 43,200 into 100 upon 120, second year again into 100 upon 120. When you simplify that, 120 cancelled with 43,200, answer 360. 360 divided by 120, answer is 3. Then 3 into 100 into 100, answer 30,000. The same thing here we didn't use an English letter for that, just by reciprocals. Right. Let us move on to another question, little bit bigger than what we did. Sasit rents house his own house for rupees 10,000 per month. He gets the annual rental at once. Now this person Sasit, he rents out his house for a monthly rental of 10,000 and got this amount at once. Now this is a story. Don't take it as a burden, take it as a story, and we can proceed in that. They will be asking several questions. We have to answer those questions in order. Then what is the first question they ask? They say find the annual rent. Second question, somewhat a big question. Out of the annual rent received, rupees 70,000 is deposited in a bank with an annual simple interest rate of 12%, and the balance is lent at an annual compound interest rate of 9%. Find the total amount he received after 2 years. Find the total amount. Keep it in mind. We will answer the questions in the given order. First one, find the annual rent. How to find the annual rent? Now monthly rent is 10,000. Annual rent means how many months for the year? You know, 12 months. Then how to find the annual rent? 10,000 multiplied by 12. 10,000 multiplied by 12. Then it is 120,000. Then this person will get 120,000 per year from as the rent income. Then what he is going to do for that? That is given in the second part. He is going to invest it. Now rent income also can be considered as a sort of investment income. He invested money to build the house. Now again he reinvests. Out of the annual rent received, rupees 70,000 is deposited in a bank with an annual simple interest rate of 12%. Right? Now there are important things. Now we don't want to jumble the entire question. We will clearly sort the question and answer step by step. They may give a big question, but we don't want to try to do the whole question at once. We are going to do it part by part. Now see, he invested 70,000 at 12% simple interest rate for 2 years. Now these things are very important. That is one part of the story. Amount is 70,000, simple interest rate, that is also important. Now we know two types of interest calculations, simple and compound. Therefore they have to tell what is the method you have to use, 12% and 2 years. Based on them, let's calculate step by step the interest or the total income for first 2 years. Annual deposit is 70,000, the amount deposited 70,000. Then this 70,000 is deposited at 12% interest rate, 70,000 into 12 upon 100. When you divide 70,000 by 100, answer is 700. 700 into 12, 8,400. 8,400 per annum. For 1 year, it is 8,400. Then they are asking it for 2 years. Then how to do that? That amount 70,000 into 12%, we got an answer. That answer should be multiplied again by 2. Then you get 2 years rent income 16,800. Now remember the principal amount. It was 70,000. The total interest for the 2 years 16,800. Altogether it is 86,800. Now that part is over. 70,000 plus total interest for the 2 years for that amount, altogether it is 86,800. Now we go to the second part of the question. You can remember they have given some story about compound interest. Let's see second part, the remaining amount. What is the meaning of remaining amount? From the rent income, he invested 70,000 in one investment method under simple interest rate. Then there is a balance, 70,000 minus when you subtract 70,000 from 120,000, you get the answer 50,000. Now they are telling about that 50,000. 50,000 is invested in compound rate for 2 years at 9% annual compound interest rate. Now let us see the total amount he would get from that side. 50,000 into 109 upon 100, that is for the first year. We have studied that short method. Again multiplied by 109 upon 100, that is for 2 years. From this one you get only interest? No. From this calculation you get the entire amount or the full amount. Then the full amount is, once you divide 50,000 by 100, 500, 500 divided by 100, 5, 5 into 109 into again 109. After 2 years, from that 50,000 he will get 9,405 interest, and with 50,000 it is 59,405. Now we have evaluated the two investments. From the rent income 120,000, 70,000 is invested in simple interest rate. The remaining 50,000 is invested in compound rate, both for 2 years. Then after 2 years you get the total amount. Let us see what is the total amount they get. This person will get a total amount of 146,205. That is the addition of total amount from the first investment and total amount from the second investment, right. Now let us see, if you, now this is a exam structured question, you will get such a question at the exam. Some students carefully answer in steps, some students will mix up it. Therefore my dear students, you have to pay your attention to the steps. Now I will show how they give marks. As students, not only answering a question, you should be having a good idea about how they give marks. Therefore only we can get lot of marks or the maximum marks. Now I would like to show you how they have given marks for this answer. Normally in a question, second paper question, you will be getting 10 marks. Therefore I have sorted this to 10 marks such that it is compatible with your exam questions. First, 1 year rent 10,000 into 12, method 1 mark, 120,000 answer 1 mark. Sometimes you know, when in calculations you write something but your answer, you know it, you write something else. Then if you do not show a method, you will lose full marks, but if you show method, you can score marks for the method. Then that question 2 marks. After that, amount deposited, our investments, you invested that income in 2 places, 70,000 into 12 upon 100. For that they get 1 mark and the answer 8,400, 1 mark. After that, interest for 2 years, 8,400 into 2, 16,800, 1 mark. Then 70,000 plus 16,800, altogether 86,800, 1 mark. Now you can carefully study this. There are 6 marks. Let us move on to the next part. There are 10 more marks. 10 marks mean there are 4 more marks. Let us see how they give. Amount lent 50,000. For that 1 mark. That means when you answer step by step, you score your marks. Now some students, most of you know, some students think they give the full 10 marks only for the last question. That is wrong. Now what will happen if everything is correct except the last one? Then student will get 0 marks. That is not happening. Always the examination is on your favor. When you do, you earn marks. When you do, you earn marks, right? Therefore, at the examination, try to do even one step forward. That means you are earning marks. Look how they give the remaining 4 marks. Then total amount received after 2 years, that is compound rate 1 mark, method 1 mark, answer 1 mark, right. After that, the total amount 146,205. Having calculated the income or the total amounts from both investments, the grand total income 146,205. Now see, they give only 2 questions, but we have to follow several steps to find that particular answer. We have to follow several steps to get that particular answer. Therefore, these steps should be analyzed by you. Some questions you might have seen, they have broken the question into Roman number about 7. Then ask step by step. Very easy to answer. When they ask a question, you answer it. Again they ask a question, you answer that part. You don't want to analyze. But you know, my dear sons and daughters, in your exam paper there are 2 types of questions. Some are structured questions. In those structured questions, they give minimum 3 parts, maximum 5 parts. So students say that is easy because the examiner breaks the question. But there are some unstructured questions. I think you have practiced in past papers these days and model papers. You might have seen they give a very big story and ask the question from the end. From the end. They are unstructured questions. To answer these unstructured questions, our students should have high order skills because everything should be analyzed by them. The question, the order, everything should be analyzed by them because they have to direct their answer to the exact target. They don't give in Roman numbers. Right. Then look at this one. I have told about the unstructured question. Now this is a model of the unstructured question. A big story, one question. Let's read the question. A person borrowed rupees 60,000 to pay back in 20 equal monthly installments. I told at the very beginning there are 3 types of interest: simple interest, compound interest and reducing balance interest. In this lesson, I am not going to teach you about the reducing balance. I promise you to teach reducing balance in another lesson completely, because when you observe 2016 OLL paper, 2017 OLL paper, they have asked unstructured questions from the reducing balance. If we get such a question this time, you should be talented enough to answer that. Question is about 3-4 lines. Answer is analyzed as I have shown to get those full 10 marks. Our focus is the exam. Now this is revision. Revision, our focus is to guide you to get maximum marks at the examination. Right. Now at the same time I would like to say, there are some students, they are 100% ready now. Even if you have the exam tomorrow, they will answer. They are having high order skills, competency levels. But for those students, they can practice. Now sometimes you might forget, but you don't know that you have forgotten. You have practiced. There are some other type of students, they know little bit. Once they are working out the sum, they find problems. Now my aim is to help those students to have a good guidance to get the full marks. Our target is to get 10 marks for these questions. Then there are some students, they are due to some reason, they have missed. They say sometimes they may think they don't know anything about that. Therefore, when I start from the simple interest, they can go from the beginning and gradually come to the compound rate. After that, reducing balance. Now actually here, I hope that all the students, those who pass grade 11, now you have passed first term and second term, for those students, they know something about the compound interest. Just to refresh your knowledge, I expect to get the installment question, or as you know, reducing balance question for this one, and give a combined question. Let's see. I just tell it because those things are also important to you, because you are getting ready for an examination. A person borrowed 60,000 to pay back in 20 equal monthly installments under a reducing balance interest rate of 16% per annum. He invested that money in a fixed deposit in another bank for 2 years at a certain simple interest rate. Now he obtained a loan and invested in another place. The total interest for the fixed deposit is 3 times the total interest payable for the loan. Now there is a combination. I have highlighted those among the story, those key factors are very important for you. Remember them. Remember, then you can build up the answer. It is unstructured question. How to begin? Where to begin? What you have to write first? Be calm and quiet first, because don't mess it. Start from some easy place. They say a person borrowed 60,000 to pay back in 20 equal monthly installments under a reducing balance interest rate of 16% per annum. This is the question. I have highlighted the important facts. Let's go and calculate in that one. Loan amount 60,000 given directly. Monthly loan portion, that means without interest, it is 60,000 divided by 20, rupees 3,000. Per month, without interest, you have to pay 3,000. Then interest per monthly loan share, we have calculated, it is 3,000. 3,000 into 16 upon 100 into 1 upon 12. Why? I told 16% is annual. Whether they mention or not, it should be annual. If they say monthly, you have to directly take it monthly. If not, take it as annual. Once you simplify this, 3,000 divided by 100, answer is 30. Again, 30 and 12, you can divide by 4. Sorry, 16 and 12 you can divide by 4. Answer 4 and 3. Then you can again divide 30 by 3. Answer is 10. Then 10 into 4, 40. Then interest for a monthly unit, I will call like that. Interest for a monthly unit per month, 40 rupees. Then after that, there is something called number of monthly units. How to calculate it? Small days, you studied this formula to find the triangular numbers or to find the addition of digits, maybe 1 to 10, 1 to 100. Using that formula, we can find the number of monthly units, n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Here n means number of months, 20 into 20 plus 1, 20 into 20 plus 1 divided by 2. Then 20 into 20 plus 1 is 420. 420 divided by 2, 210. Therefore, there are 210 monthly units. In another lesson, I told earlier also, I would like to talk about this one from the very beginning. Therefore, don't panic at this place, right? But I know most of you know this. Therefore, I just take it as an example to combine with our other interest. Then 210 number of month units. Then we can calculate the total interest. In this question, we don't want to go for the total, value of a monthly installment. We have to stop from the total interest, because the combination is given from total interest. The total interest is 40. 40 means interest for a monthly unit multiplied by 210. What is 210? Number of month units. 40 into 210. It is 8,400. That means the total interest is 8,400. According to this reducing balance method, the total interest is 8,400. Now, let us move on to next one. They say he invested that money in a fixed deposit in another bank. This loan invested in another bank for 2 years at a certain simple interest rate. The total interest for the fixed deposit is 3 times the total interest payable for the loan. Now, for the loan you have to pay 8,400. This 8,400 should be multiplied by 3 to find the total interest for the 2 years from that investment. Then 8,400 is the interest for the loan under reducing balance method. Once you multiply it by 3, the answer is 25,200. What is this 25,200? Interest for the loan multiplied by 3. Then they say this interest is equal to the simple interest for 2 years. This 25,200 is the total interest from the investment for 2 years. What is that investment? That investment is made at simple interest rate, but we do not know that. That is what they ask. Then, but you know 25,200 is the interest for 2 years. Interest for 2 years. Then let us see the interest for 1 year. 1 year interest should be half of that. Divide by 2, rupees 12,600. Then by going that way, we calculate how much is the interest for 1 year from the simple interest investment. Now, all the materials are there. We can simply use the formula to find the annual interest rate. Let us see. Annual simple interest rate equal interest for the year upon principal amount. Can you remember the principal amount? 60,000. Annual interest is 12,600. How to convert it to percentage? Multiply by 100%. Then 100, 600,000, once you divide by 100, answer 1 and 600. Then again 12,600 divided by 600, answer is 21. Then what is the annual simple interest rate? Annual simple interest rate is 21%. Now see, this is how we answered this unstructured question. The steps were organized by us. They have given only one question at the end, but they have asked the question from the end point. We have to analyze in order and find this answer carefully. It is not a big thing. I think it is something very simple. You can do faster. Time factor. Time factor also very important, because exam one side the knowledge, other side time. Right. Now for that also I think it is important for you to know how the marks are given. Monthly loan portion 3,000, 1 mark. 3,000 into 16% into 1 upon 12. What is it? Interest for a monthly unit. So many calculations. A line, therefore 2 marks. Answer again 1 mark. Then number of month units, just 1 mark for the answer. Total interest 8,400. What we did? Now here I take all those answers to one place. If you write the exam paper, your answer should be like this. Your exam paper answer should be like this. Then the teacher can mark it in the proper order and give marks. Then when we proceed, interest earned on fixed deposit. rupees 25,200. I explain all those calculations. 1 mark. Annual interest rate 12,600. 1 mark. Then you have to find the annual simple interest rate. Annual simple interest rate 12,600 upon 60,000 into 100%. For writing that 1 mark, for simplifying and getting the answer another 1 mark. That is how you get those 10 marks. Now let us move on to another question. Kasun borrowed rupees 25,000 at an annual simple interest rate of 12% on a promise to pay it in 2 years. They have given a story, a sentence. Kasun, name is not important to us, borrowed rupees 25,000 at an annual simple interest rate of 12% on a promise to pay it in 2 years. See, this person's loan should be paid in 2 years with a certain interest. Then Kasun used the loan for his small business. If he made the profit of 50% of the investment at the end of the first year, what would be his profit? Now this person obtained a loan 25,000. For what he invested that? He used that amount for his business. From the business, he received 50% income or the profit. Then second part, find the interest to be paid on the loan for 2 years. Then he has to pay the interest for the loan. Until settling the loan, he has to go on paying interest. Then third one, this is a well structured question. I told structured and unstructured questions. This is a structured question. Third part, Kasun's hope is to settle the loan by paying the total profit of the first year and profit at the end of the second year. Now what he expects? Now first year you know there is some profit, you have already calculated. Then second year he is going to use the second year profit and settle the loan. How to settle the loan? Just pay in interest? No. To settle the loan, you have to pay the principal amount and interest. Now the term amount is the addition of principal and interest. Then fourth part, but Kasun get only 13,500 as second year profit. To release from the loan, how much more should he pay after giving rupees 13,500? Then the first year interest is 12,500. Second year he expected the remaining amount to settle the loan, but they say it is only 13,500. Then they are asking how much more. That means those 2 years addition is not enough to settle the loan. Now that is the story. I think the story is now that means memorized. It is in your mind. Then let us answer this step by step. First one, Kasun used the loan for his small business. If he made the profit of 50% of the investment at the end of the first year, what would be his profit? Loan amount 25,000, profit 25,000 into 50%, 50 upon 100. When you divide 25,000 by 100, your answer is 250. 250 into 50 rupees 12,500. Therefore, first year Kasun received rupees 12,500 as the interest, as the profit from his business. Then second part, find the interest to be paid on the loan for 2 years. Let us see, now he got a loan. For that loan he has to pay interest under simple method, simple interest rate. Annual interest 25,000 into 12 upon 100. At the very beginning of the lesson we studied this simple interest. Then that answer is 3,000. 25,000 divided by 100, 250, 250 into 12, rupees 3,000. Then interest for 2 years. They tell about 2 years. 3,000 into 2. Answer, rupees 6,000. Therefore, for the loan, this person has to pay rupees 6,000 altogether. Now, total amount to be paid. Now, how to get rid of the loan? How to settle the loan? He has to pay 25,000 and 6,000 for both years. 25,000 plus 6,000, answer is 31,000. If this person pay 31,000 at the end of the year, he will be released from the loan. But profit, to fulfill it, what is the profit due? It should be 18,500. If you want to settle the loan, first year 12,500, the remaining amount should be collected from the second year. Then the second year interest or the profit should be 18,500. But you can remember, he didn't get it. However, answer for the third question is rupees 18,500. Let's move on to the next one. But Kasun got only 13,500 as second year profit. To release from the loan, how much more? Now, you knew he needed 18,500 to settle the loan. But this question says he got only 13,500. Then there are two methods of calculating it. First, one method, you can get the first year profit and add it to second year profit, answer 26,000. Therefore, he should pay he will get only 26,000, but he should pay, early we calculated, he should pay 31,000. Then there is a remaining amount or balance amount. Let's see, 31,000 minus 26,000, answer is just 5,000. 5,000 is lacking. He should find 5,000 from some place to settle this loan. Therefore, answer for the fourth question, how much more should he pay after giving 13,500 is rupees 5,000. Now, even you can work out the very same question in another way. That is, now after paying 12,500, he should pay another 18,500. But did he get 18,500? No, he got only 13,500. Then 18,500 minus 13,500, the answer is 5,000. Therefore, either way you can get this answer 5,000. Okay. Then my dear students, I hope you got a fair knowledge about simple interest and compound interest from our today's lesson. And I promise you to discuss on reducing balance method in another revision lesson. So, I hope you will try. Now, practice makes the perfect. Therefore, you have to practice. You can watch this again and again from the YouTube channel, channel NIE, National Institute of Education, and you can practice. There are so many past paper questions. These days, I think you are referring to the past paper questions. That is a good practice. Nothing to do. You have to work again and again. Then you can practice them and compare your answers. Try to be a perfect student. I told there are different levels of students. Some are well talented. Some are actually they haven't got due to some reason, maybe forgotten. Some just enjoy the vacations. Therefore, if you are not in touch with it, it will be a problem. Therefore, my dear students, please work out them again and again. If you have any trouble, you can discuss with your friends, teachers, and try to get the full usage of today's lesson. Fine. Then I would like to thank you for watching this, and I wish you a nice day. Thank you.